Is it over for Bama? A lot of people across the sport of college football are asking that very question right now. And it's not just Alabama fans who are wondering this. It is people who have been fans of the sport for years, if not decades. So when Ole Miss comes to town on Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Central, a lot of people are wondering, is Lane Kiffin going to knock off his former master? Alabama has looked wild and undisciplined at times this season. Their starting quarterback situation still a little bit tumultuous. They've named Jaden Milroe as the starter against Ole Miss, and I think that is the correct decision to make. But still, there's a lot of trepidation throughout Crimson Tide Nation about the way the season is going thus far. And a lot of people believe this would be the ideal time for Lane Kiffin to roll into Tuscaloosa and to steal one away from his former mentor. Now, Bama comes into this game 13th ranked in the country, Ole Miss 15th ranked. And currently, at the time of this recording, Alabama is favored to win this game by 6.5 points. Personally, I'm not buying all the hype that Nick Saban has done and that Alabama is done as well. I think that they have to get their quarterback experience, though. And the only way to get him experience is to play him. I also believe that they need to customize the offense to Milroe's strengths. And that means simplifying the offense and also adding some designed runs in as well. Having said all of that, I think Bama prevails in this game by a score of 28-24. I don't think they covered the spread, but I do think they win at home and put off the talk that Nick Saban has done at least for another week or two. Other games of note starting on Friday, Wisconsin and Purdue. I've got Wisconsin prevailing over the Boilermakers by a score of 28-17. North Carolina State versus Virginia. NC State all over the Cavaliers on this one. I've got the Wolfpack winning 34-13. Saturday's action, Texas A&M hosting Auburn. Talking about SEC coaches on the hot seat, it's getting a little bit warm down in College Station. I see A&M winning this game, though, by a score of 35-31 over Auburn in cooling off Jimbo's seat just a little bit. Another 11 a.m. kick on Saturday, Florida State travels to Clemson in what used to be a premier ACC matchup. Right now, not so hot of a matchup, especially for Clemson. Unfortunately for Dabo and the Tigers, I've got Florida State winning this one big by a score of 45-21. I think the Seminoles roll all over Clemson Saturday morning. Staying at the 11 o'clock hour Saturday, we have Oklahoma traveling to Cincinnati, welcoming Cincinnati in to Big 12 play for the first time. In this matchup, I've got the Sooners winning by 2 touchdowns over Cincinnati by a score of 27-13, spoiling the Bearcats' Big 12 debut. Staying at that 11 o'clock hour on Saturday, we have the battle for the Iron Skillet. TCU hosting SMU. This one could be a very, very good game. I've got TCU winning by a score of 34-31 at home. SMU is improving, though. The news of their upcoming move to the ACC has put a shot in the arm of that program. So don't be surprised if this one is not close, very close, or maybe even an upset. Moving to the 2:30 p.m. Central window on Saturday, we have Colorado versus Oregon. Now, this one has the potential to be one of the best games of the week. Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffs have taken the college football world by storm. I have them continuing their winning ways and picking up a win on the road at Oregon by a score of 41-38. At 6 p.m. Central, LSU host Arkansas in an SEC West battle. I've got the Tigers winning big, 48-24 over the Razorbacks of Arkansas. There's too many offensive line issues in Arkansas for the Razorbacks to seriously compete in this one. At 6 p.m. Central on Fox, we also have Oregon State traveling to Washington State in a battle of the Pac-2. These two programs, of course, really getting left out in the cold when the Pac-12 conference essentially just blew itself up over the course of the last year or two. Having said all of that, I think this will be a very entertaining game. Expect both teams to come out and play and hit very hard. In this one, I've got Oregon State coming out on top 27-23. At 6:30 p.m. Central on NBC, we get to see a very top-notch game. Notre Dame hosts Ohio State. Ohio State looking to win the 6th game in a row versus Notre Dame Saturday night. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I've got the Irish on top by a score of 31-24 over Ohio State Saturday night primetime on NBC. And at 6:30 p.m. on ABC, we have Texas traveling to Baylor. This could be the final matchup between the Longhorns and Bears for quite some time. Texas and OU leaving for the SEC next season, and I have not seen any continuation planned for this particular matchup. So expect this one to be a wild affair. Waco is going to be extremely loud and extremely hostile for the Longhorns. Keeping that in mind, I've got Texas winning by a score of 30-27 on the road and spoiling the final goodbye prepared for them by the Baylor Bears. Now, whoever you're rooting for, I hope you have a wonderful weekend of college football. Enjoy the games, get some rest and relaxation, and I'll talk to you later.